Hi, Michael Mendoza. We're going to be doing our aspic color sheet and our ChaudFroid. So I have here my gelatin packet and a quarter cup of cold water. So I'm just going to dissolve this gelatin into my water. Alright, so now that it mixed up a little bit, we're going to wait a couple minutes and we're going to add in our hot water. Alright, so now I'm going to add in my hot water. Now we're going to let that sit for just a couple more minutes and we're going to add in our mayo. Alright, so I'll let this sit for about 2 minutes. I'm going to add in my mayo now. My half cup. This is for the base. And then after this we'll be doing the aspic color sheet. This together. I don't want to whisk it too fast because then I'll cause bubbles, which will make it less smooth in the end. Just want to make sure everything's incorporated and there's no large chunks of mayo. Alright, now that it's incorporated, we're going to pour this onto our plate and we'll start our aspic sheet. Alright, so now I'm going to transfer this onto my oiled plate. Try and keep it as thin a layer as possible, just making sure. There. Now we're going to transfer this to the fridge. In a second. Cleaning up the side here. We're going to transfer this to the fridge for a couple hours until it firms up. And we'll start working on our aspic. Alright, so now I've recreated the gelatin again. Just going to add in my mayo this time. My tomato paste. Last time I made the mistake of adding in mayo and tomato paste, so it made it hard to maneuver the final product. I just have about 3 ounces of tomato paste I'm going to mix into the jelly. This one's going to firm up a little longer than the mayo just because it's thicker. Trying again not to get any air bubbles in this while I mix. Almost like a ketchup consistency here. Now, put this into my other greased plate. This one I don't have to worry about it being a perfect shape because this is what I'm cutting out of for and placing it to my other one. I just want to make sure it's nice and flat, thin as I can get it. And even. Alright, so once this is nice and flat and even, I'm putting this in the fridge and we're going to let it cool down and firm up along with the other one, the ChaudFroid, and then we'll start assembling our final product. Alright, so now we have both of our aspic color sheet and the ChaudFroid base out, and they're both firm. So first I'm going to cut out my patterns here and then pull the shapes from the red one onto here. I'm going to do just something basic, circles around, try and make it even. Go. Now one just came right out. Perfect. The edges came out a little thicker, probably because of the way the plate was shaped. It makes it easier to maneuver those pieces. Alright, I'm gonna cut out all these shapes and then we'll start cutting out the red parts. So I've gone through and I've pulled out all of my shapes from the white side. I'm gonna go from the tomato, the aspic side, and just place those shapes into here. Alright, so I went through, pulled out all my shapes from the red ones. It was a lot easier this time now that I didn't make it with mayonnaise. It actually it's holding its shape. It's more of like a solid gel. This one, now I was able to just place them in with the same size as the pastry holder, the pastry tip. So there you go, my ChaudFroid plate.